what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there is also a PayPal link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using stock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Sleeping Warrior, The Plain Truth, Ranty Flat Earth, and Arwin. Good to have you.
Shout out to AZFE Chick, Heavy Sigh.
Good afternoon, guys.
AZFE Chick.
Yeah, that's right, Nathan. That's right. AZFE Chick.
Yeah, who is that?
She is a new acquaintance of mine, and we're getting acquainted, and I want to give her a shout out.
Is this a fancy lady of yours? Is this your mistress?
I wouldn't call her a mistress, but she is a fancy, yes.
Oh, she's your lover.
You're making me blush, Nathan. Stop it.
Yeah, that's my intention. Hopefully she's blushing too. It's very sweet.
Yes.
Shout out to AZFE Chick. Good to have you in our chat or watching the re-upload.
Have you got the link for a channel so I can subscribe?
You want me to send you the link? I don't even know how to do that. It's your channel. Just look it up. It's pretty easy. AZFE Chick, Arizona Flat Earth Chick.
Okay, I will.
Any signs of curvature, gentlemen?
None.
Nope.
Axial rotation of the Earth-based variety. Any signs of that?
Negative.
Nope.
Nary a one.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
No.
Nope.
Any evidence of gas pressure next to a... Was that something? Did I hear something from Arwin? Should have piped down.
You did. What did you just say, Arwin?
Go on, Arwin.
I said not scientific.
Ah, excellent. Any evidence
Lots
of gas
evidence,
pressure
though.
without a container?
Oh, never.
No.
Never, ever. Only in
Don't be
a
silly, Nathan.
silly
You can't-
person's most wild imagination can that ever work.
Don't be silly, Nathan. You can't have a gas pressure exist next to a vacuum of space without some kind of like membrane. Don't be ridiculous.
Well, the heliocentric believers, in their crazy religious zealotry, think that they have a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. They think that you have this Earth that's a ball, nonsense, with this gas pressure just kind of held to it next to a vacuum. Like this huge infinite expanse of space that's a vacuum. And then you've got Earth with its gas pressure. Yeah, it's ludicrous. So no demonstrations of that in actual practical application then?
No.
Fair enough. What about distance to the sun?
Oh. There was a suggestion that there might have been some evidence for it.
No, there is no distance to the sun.
There was. I'm going to have to report to the fans because Flat Earth Math was asked, how did he know the distance to the sun on a recent hangout? And he got stumbled. He got stuck good style. He started talking about Kepler's third law on interplanetary motion to get the ratios and the relative distances. But when asked where did the distance actually come from, the 93 million miles, he started to fluff his way through his answers and started to stutter. And I was sat there watching him squirm like a wet fish out of water. And he didn't get to the conclusion of his point. And it looked to me like Flat Earth Math was buying time so that the point would get lost and obfuscated by virtue of running out of time. So shout outs to Flat Earth Math for failing to prove the distance to the sun.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, that was good.
Answers on a postcard. If it was just a lack of time, Charles, then, take your time. Write a nice long comment below. Just let us know. distance to the sun, mate. Usually you'd have your tape measure to hand.
Yeah. So it almost appeared, Nathan, as if it was an intentional failing of obfuscation by Flat Earth Math. It was embarrassing, Flat Earth Math. Charles, if you're watching, we all know why you can't give the real distance to the sun. Wink, wink. Because there isn't one, is there, Charles? So where's that 93 million miles come from?
So I'll repeat the question then. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
No, none.
Fair enough. What about a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
They're never going to be able to prove that. But that is their claim. So the answer is no.
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 Okie dokie. What about the presupposition itself? Any evidence of the R value? Radius,
No.
gentlemen?
None at all.
Ah,
Pretty sure that concludes the housekeeping.
aye.
R.
Ah.
Yeah. Maybe I should.
Oh,
do
I
the-
know. There is one outstanding.
Oh, here we go. Is it going to be? Let me guess. But Bill Miller or M. Scott Veach or? Well, go on.
Is there any evidence of the unicorn hangout Sean Hufford?
Oh yeah, that temporarily can be added to housekeeping. So
Yeah.
well, it's hard to phrase though because in a way, downplaying it by saying any evidence of the unicorn hangout implies that there was a unicorn hangout to begin with that's capable of being found, even though it's farcical by labelling a unicorn. Obviously, there's no unicorns and there's no hangout. But it's one where I'm not going to ask for anything because we've got a contemporaneous conversation recorded between GeoStreber and Soundly. This is bang to rights, caught red-handed, having a hangout, and then lying about it from there on after, to the point where they've got Sean involved to escalate it and distract so much with court cases, with FE Core involved and all sorts of other nonsense. So he can distract away from GeoStreber being fed by Soundly. And they've been caught red-handed. There's a recording of it. If you want to hear the recording, it's been replayed about a bazillion times. It's obvious what's happening.
When somebody asks a question, where is it down here, right? And then he Soundly immediately responds and says, yeah, and go back to that definition he cites too, blah, 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 blah. Then that's kind of an issue if you're going to argue that it's a coincidental hangout that I was having with somebody or bled through my mic, because the chances of it sounding just like a coherent conversation would be almost zero, right?
So have we received solicitor's instructions?
His instructions to legal counsel yet? No. So if you're watching, Sean, which law firm have you found? Very interested to know that one.
Well, time's out though, right? He said he was doing it yesterday.
Well, he said he was going to find one yesterday. He needs to find one and instruct them. So finding one's like 30 seconds. It's picking which one he wants to represent him, though, because, you know, it's such a hard task, given that they all do the same thing. He really needs one that he thinks is going to be favourable in his favour. So I'd like to know which one it is, Sean. What's your law firm that you found, please? Want to give us a laugh?
Yeah, hurry up and get on with it and instruct them. What's he messing around at? Isn't he telling his audience that he's instructing solicitors and asking for money and help to instruct solicitors? Just instruct them. It's not like you need a huge amount of money.
He doesn't need a GoFundMe to do that either. It's literally a phone call.
Yeah, it doesn't take a huge amount of money just to engage with the solicitor.
No.
So it's not like as a, you know, suddenly you've got to plumb up 10 grand or something, you know, probably 500 quid just to instruct a solicitor, right?
Yeah, 500 can't be. He'll need $500 payments on account in lieu of costs. That's what he's going to need. So he might need a GoFundMe, but he doesn't need that to get the instructions set up.
For $500?
Yeah, that's what they'll want, yeah.
Why would he need a GoFundMe?
For $500?
Yeah.
Well, he needs to instruct solicitors, right? And normally when they agree terms, that he'll put a deposit down in lieu of costs. In other words, their costs. So you can instruct them and get the letter back saying, please provide money on account, and then he's got to put the money in the account.
No, I understand all that. What I'm saying is, just instructing a solicitor, 500 quid, you're talking the peanuts opening amount that you might give them just to instruct them. From there on in,
he's got a willing audience. I mean, they paid for his drone recently and a funeral from someone that died in his family. So I mean, I'm sure they're going to be more than willing to give him $500. But he doesn't need that to get the initial ball rolling. He just needs to instruct them. So I want to know where that is.
But either way, what I'm saying is, after the $500, that's not where suddenly you pay $500 and you've got a solicitor. No, you've then got to actually pay them to do work for you. And that costs a lot of money. So, prepare your audience, Sean, for crippling expenses to sue FE Core for the damages you perceive that you've suffered. Great. I want to see it. I want to see your audience bled dry by you based on your lies about GeoStreamer being fed by Soundly in a contemporaneous recording of him actually coaching him. Yeah. You get all the money you can out of your audience, plumb it into a solicitor who'll be laughing all the way to the bank, as will I, at your audience, and how stupid they are for believing a word you say when we've got a bloody recording, you moron.
Shout out to Sean and his band of merry men.
Chop, Sean. Get on with it. Instruct your solicitor so I can watch you waste a lot of your audience's money.
Shout out retracted.
Yeah, there's probably only the same 20 people in the chat spouting their drivel over and over and over again. Nobody listens to them anymore, I don't think. It's the same old stuff every day, isn't it?
And I've probably got 15 of them blocked now anyway, so I don't even get to see it.
Oh, I see it all. It's funny. It's funny when you see people like, who've we got in the chat? You've got Nick and you've got...
Nick that's got no L anymore because Pete Shea bullied him into it. I mean, of all the people that you could be bullied by, Pete Shea being one of them, come on, Nick. He's hardly offensive, is he? He's not going to really bite your head off.
But yeah, the same old stuff. Did you have to go somewhere today, or have you put that on hold for the time being?
Who, me?
Yeah. Thought you had to drive somewhere.
No.
Right, okay.
What made you think that?
Because you said to me you needed to drive an hour today. Go and hand something in.
There is something I'd like to talk about.
There
is something I'd like to talk about.
Go on.
So, yesterday during your live stream, Ranty, we discussed Simon Dan, and this morning I got the message that you sent during that show. I just hadn't received it during the show to actually read it. And what do you know? Dan is basically just a bully, and a typical bully at that. So he's going after low-hanging fruit flat earthers, no-name flat earthers on the whole. Yeah, he started on Mark Sargent in his most recent video, but on the whole he goes after pretty obscure flat earthers with their gates and their gate examples of flat earth, and he debunks them and gets 1.2 million views doing it. But that aside, he's going after other people to say you're wrong, you're stupid, how could you be so dumb and not understand pseudoscience, which is what I deal in. And that's what his bag is, that's his MO. However, when Leeds Rules and Ranty Flat Earth, although he's not giving me any stick, and myself, go after him for his very, very fake growth, then suddenly he's emailing and private messaging these two, not me, saying, retract your smearing of me or I'll get YouTube involved. So it's back to high school when the kid would hold you against the wall and say, give me your pocket money. And the minute you punch him in the face, he runs to the teacher. Well, this is Dan. Yeah, Dan, we're punching you in the face. And we're not going to stop punching you in the face, my friend. We're still going to highlight that your growth is ludicrous and you've completely over-egged the pudding. I don't care what that pudding is or what kind of eggs you used. You've over-egged the pudding, and it's now laughably obvious that you're not outperforming Sly Sparkane, Jeranism, Bruce Springsteen, Kelly Clarkson, Reg Rhetoric, all combined together. You're not outperforming all of these people. You're just faking it, and we all know it. It's obvious to everybody watching. So for you to approach Ranty demanding he retracts his videos because he's knocking you just shows up what a pathetic sack of shit you are. And you disgust me, Dan. You are the typical bully. But you don't like it when people stand up to you. But when people challenge you for your bullshit, you don't like it. You want to go running to YouTube and write little letters of complaint to Ranty about his video knocking your seriously non-organic growth. Hi Ranty, I just wanted to clarify some things with you. I'm more than happy if you want to make videos regarding my content. Oh, well, that's good for your permission, Dan. Screw you, we'll do as we damn well please, would be my response to that first sentence. Yeah, don't need your permission, dickhead. I've got no problem with that at all. Jolly good, jolly good. My wife, like we give a crap about your woman, yeah? So, my wife even found your dunce hat funny. Really, couldn't give a crap what your wife thinks. She's not on YouTube faking her subs. So we don't care what your wife thinks. However, I'm not going to stand videos. I'm not going to stand videos. I think he means stand for videos. I'm not going to stand videos that attack my character. What, like you do? About every single person you ever make a video about? What? That kind of attack you mean, Simon Dan, you complete arsehole? What? That kind of attack? What a prick! I mean, seriously, who does this guy think he is? Get this. Asshole then starts appealing to his children. I have 4 children. Well, try and keep your cock in your pants. Don't bloody moan at us, right, that you've got 4 kids. Like, we give a shit about your stupid kids. Don't bleed about your kids to Ranty about your fakery. Like it matters. Like your kids having control over your fakery. Anyway, do you think they really... Why are you appealing to what your bloody kids think? What
No,
the hell?
what he's saying is he's now got a reputation that he wants to try and protect. But the criticism, the hypocritical bit, is that the very thing that he criticises the likes of Leeds, Rules and Ranty for doing is the exact thing that he does himself. He ridicules us back. So it's like you can't have one rule for us but a different rule for you just because you've now got this new apparent status that seems to be magical. Now, if you're going to criticise us, mate, you get criticised back. And let's be honest, you're outperforming pop artists on Flat Earth, debunking people like me. Come on, nobody really thinks that that's legit.
This is the important part, though. This is the veiled threat. This is the veiled threat in the middle of it. It says, according to YouTube, I need to contact you first before I take further action, right? So in other words, he's contacting me essentially before he takes further action. So that's why I'm emailing you today, so that he has this contact with me prior to him contacting YouTube. So now that I've acknowledged that I've received his email, I now have been warned of this. So now he can feel free to contact YouTube and report any video I do about him. Well, Sorry?
Let me put it to Simon Dan in a really straightforward way that he'll understand. Try it. Because fair critique is one of the things that you are allowed to do on YouTube. And we are ridiculing you. Fair critique with ridicule is permitted. So if you don't like it, Simon Dan, don't make videos about us laughing at us for being flat earthers. Because it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
So apparently he thinks he can make a defamation.
Another one that thinks he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
According to YouTube, where
I need to show how
sorry, Auntie. I'd like to know where, according to YouTube. I'm pretty well versed with the YouTube community guidelines, copyright rules, and all the rest of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, nobody's infallible, but I'd like to know where YouTube actually specified that you need to get in touch with somebody before making a complaint about defamation. I just think that's bollocks. Anybody can make a complaint about any video at any time. You can fill out a report if you think it's a violation of community guidelines, if you think it's violating your privacy, if you think it's infringing on your copyright status. Any of those things you don't have to contact the person about. You only have to contact them if you're trying to appeal a copyright strike. So that would be the point that you'd need to get in touch with somebody who's saying, you've had my material, yeah, you're not having my material, I'm going to strike you. Then you get into an email discourse, because beyond that, you go to court. That's what happens. As for him having hurt feelings, you show me the YouTube guidelines for that shite. I don't think so. Cite it. I'd like the next email sent to Ranty to be specifically what guidelines you think you're adhering to, because I don't think you've got any grounds to moan about anything. You're just a muppet who's been called out on your fakery, and now you're moaning about it.
Yeah, but he's a muppet now with a reputation, Nathan. Don't forget about his reputation.
What reputation? Just because he's got fake subs doesn't mean he has a reputation. He's got a reputation for being a faker.
How many subs has he got now?
I think he's got 60,000 now.
Can we get an update? Let's find out. No, we can't, because he was on 50,000 a week ago. He must be on 1 million now.
Well, let me just finish this important part. He says he can make a defamation complaint where I need to show, so he needs to show that a video can damage my reputation.
What reputation has he got?
What's his videos all about?
Hang on, what's his reputation?
Damaging other people's reputation by, trying to debunk them and mocking them and laughing at them. That's his entire channel.
The whole point was when he had Sly Sparkane and I think it was Soundly talking to each other about, oh, have you seen Simon Dan? Who's Simon Dan? It's like nobody knows who you are. You had 25,000 subscribers at the time and nobody knew who you were.
I want to know what this reputation he thinks he has is. I mean, as far as I know, the only reputation that the guy might have is like he's the fastest growing YouTube sensation since 2014, Ariana Grande.
Hey, I like the last sentence. I'm not going to be a dick about it and ask for an apology. Oh, really? You can do what you like, mate. You can ask for an apology. Make a video asking for an apology. See how far it gets you. Ask all you like, dickhead. You're not being a dick, are you? Oh, right. I'll point out that you are a dick. Yeah, a faker and a dick. So you claim not to be a dick. Well, from now on, you will be known as the dick.
And do you know what's the funniest of all of the funniness of this? Is that the one video that he's going on about, right? This one video that he wants me to take down is the video that he's told all his subscribers to go to my channel about and tell them that they're a real subscriber. I now have about 15,000 views on it and around about 5,000 comments, right? So go figure. He acknowledges that this is the video that he now wants me to take down after sending all his trolls to it to troll me for the past month or so.
Are you sure that's the video he's referring to? Is he not on about the hangout from last night?
Yeah, there've been lots of videos made on the topic since your first one, right? So this is the one that he wants me to take down, my first video about him, which was the one of me doing the live stream and tracking his progress over just a couple of hours, basically, and watching his subscribers go up about 6 every minute. So he wants me to take that video down. I might be able to find it actually on let's find over here on YouTube the video that he wants me to take down. Anti-flatter. Go to my videos now. I'll show you the video that he wants me to take down, and I'll show you the amount of comments that I've had. Here we go. So this is the one. Simon Dan. Right, this is the question, and it is a question. Is he buying views and subscribers? You decide. That's it. So that is the question posed, and throughout this, it's a cut down version of a 2-hour live stream that I did. Basically getting to the point where he went from however many subscribers, he probably put on like a couple of thousand subscribers in that time, and I was doing it live. So I've had, let's see, 14,000, nearly 15,000 views, and I've had 4,834 comments, right? With things, all kinds of stuff, essentially trolling me. So he's sent all these trolls over to come and attack me for the past 2 weeks. And now he wants me to say, hey?
Let's not misrepresent what he did. He sent a load of trolls, a load of people over to prove that his account was legit. He didn't send them to troll you.
Well, yeah, but still.
I know they did actually troll you, but he didn't send them to do that.
Yeah, but I've not been able to keep up with my comments on any other videos because literally I'm it says 9+ there. There's probably 9,000 comments in there somewhere that I have to troll through to get to a particular comment on any video. Yeah.
But now, Ranty, you must have a reputation to uphold as well now.
I'm not asked about my reputation. I just concentrate on the work.
You actually do have a reputation, Ranty. So you've consistently gone out for the last 6 months doing capture after capture after capture. So you've got a reputation to uphold. I'm sure if someone came along that said they wanted your channel taken off you, you'd fight for it, correct?
Yep.
Well, Dan, on the other hand, is prepared to wager his channel against other people's. It's like, all right, I'd be really, really pleased if I heard that and I was one of your subscribers. I'm not. But if I was, I'd think, oh, right. So I've subscribed to you, I've shown loyalty, I've watched your videos, and what you're prepared to just gamble your channel. Oh, right.
So here we are. He has 63,608 subscribers now.
So I think he will stop at 100,000 subscribers because in one of the videos, one of the comments to me, he said, when I'm at 100,000 subscribers, like it was a fait accompli, like he knew he was going to get to 100,000. So I think he's bought 100,000 subscribers.
Got you.
Because that's what he said to me, when I get to 100. Not if.
So let's just look at some of the titles of his videos, because essentially it's all the same stuff. Flat Earth debate team get caught out again. The 10 worst Flat Earth memes, 500 subscribers. This is way back 3 months ago when he only had 500 subscribers. Flat Earth compilation, fails.
Do you know what that tells me? See that video where he's got 500 subscribers with 3 exclamation marks after it?
Yep.
That's the kind of thing I do. I mean, I'm waiting to gain another couple of hundred subscribers so I hit 8k. And when I do, I'll make a video like that saying, thank you for subscribing. I'm really pleased. Thank you so much for supporting me and sticking around and watching my videos. And that video, 500 subscribers, that's actual pride. He's really pleased with himself that after, how many videos prior to that did he make?
Oh, loads and loads and loads. 8 months ago, and he's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 on a line, 6, 18, 23 videos before.
So it's taken him 23 videos to make 500 subs,
26.
and that's genuine pride. So he's gone, I've made all these videos, I've got 500 subscribers, I'm really proud of myself. Thank you to all the real people who've come along and subscribed to me. 500 of you. And how many thank you videos has he made from that day to this about his subscriber base increasing?
Probably none.
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 I can see.
Right. Exactly. So there's his real subscriber base. Probably 1,000 people by now.
Anyway, so yeah, let's not lose the point that he's actually contacting Flat Earth channels who have done any kind of video against him, right? Including Leeds Rules, who did a video about the same subscriber count and pointing out how very famous pop artists, etc., weren't getting anywhere near as many views as him. And he's contacted him with essentially the same message, which is, I need to contact you first before I can report you to YouTube. Please remove the video or else. You know, sort of strong arm tactics, which isn't going to work. It's not going to wash. Obviously, YouTube aren't. There's nothing that's wrong with the work we've done. But this, in his mind, he thinks he is, you know, that he can't have anything against him at all, but he's allowed to do lots of stuff against every flat earther going. Yeah,
it's the bully that holds you up against the wall and says, give me your pocket money, till you headbutt him. And then he runs to the teacher. Hey, he headbutted me. Yeah, you were just trying to mug him. Yeah, but you headbutted me. Look, my nose is bleeding. I look silly.
He's a worm.
Yeah, take it, Dan. I'm going to keep repeatedly punching you in the face, making you look like the complete faker that you are. And I'm willing to bet a pound right here now that you get to 100,000 subs. Yeah, based on what your comment said to me. Because you were indicating that you kind of knew you were going to get to 100,000 subs. Which tells me that your growth won't stop. It'll continue and you will get to 100,000 subs.
Oh, so what else is new? We need to plug FE Core as well, don't we, Anthony?
Pardon?
FE Core.
I need to do what did you say?
Plug them.
No, you need to plug them.
Do you not need to plug them?
Nope, you need to plug them.
Ah. Yes, I've been accepted as a core member of FE Core now.
Oh, right. That's a bit unfortunate for all those haters, isn't it?
I think so.
What will they all do now?
Maybe they'll call me a shill.
They're going to call you a shill.
Shock horror. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Not the fact that, you know, all my work and everything has, you know, piqued their interest and maybe they want to do some research with me, which is all good.
Wonder what the trolls will have to say about that, because that seems a little bit unreasonable, in my opinion. I mean, you've only been on Flat Earth for at least a month now, Ranty. What about this reputation that you must have?
Hey, Chaz.
I've appeared out of nowhere.
Hey, Chaz.
G'day.
G'day.
Are we drunk today, Jazz, or are we sober?
Sober as a pig and a whistle there, mate. What are we...
Hey, Tommy.
Say again.
What's up, boys? What's up? Hello? Check.
Hello.
Check.
Mic check, mic check.
We hear you, Jazz. We hear you, Tommy.
Hello, boys.
Good to have you both.
Running all strength 5.
It's mad because my mate only not long linked me to that Simon Dan the other day, and I looked through his videos and that, and I thought he had some good points. Hence where I got the that seed, the gypopography or whatever it's called. Argument that I brought to the table the once I got that from his channel. And it's funny that he's got like over 60,000 subscribers and only like 5,000 views or something like that. That's fucking, that don't add up.
Which video is that one? It's probably one of his early videos, I would have thought.
So someone linked it in. Oxy put it into the chat. Says he's got 41 uploads, 63,000 subscribers, and only 5,700 views of his total video views. I think. Oh no, that's that phone. What's that?
Can you get a bit closer to your mic, Tommy? I've just tried to boost everything to get you as loud as I can, and you're still too quiet.
There you go. Yeah, 63,000 subscribers, but only 5,000 views. Is that right? Am I reading that number right, or is it wrong?
Yeah, that's wrong. He's got, on one video alone, he's got 1.7 million.
Oh, okay. He's got 5 million. All right.
So what do you think of his presentation? Do you think he was...
I like the way he keeps things simple, and he gets to the point about things and say stuff. But as you said, he's criticising everybody else, and then now he's getting his knickers in a twist because he's having a bit of his arguments are getting put to test. Do you know what I mean? It's double standards, isn't it? It's a bit sad.
It is. I'm actually considering doing a video on his first point, actually. So I already did point 3 and 5, I think, when he was going after Mark Sargent. So point 1 is the easiest one. Anyone can go after him for that, because essentially he does completely misrepresent what Mark Sargent says in that actual statement for point 1. And when he claims
you're telling me a ball earther's misrepresented a flat earther. Say it isn't so.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Well, what he does is he mixes it's words, it's clever wording that he does. And originally I thought, I had to watch it back to realize that Mark didn't actually say that. He was just talking about, we can see much further in the distance, and we can also bring boats back from over the curve with the camera. Yeah, or essentially it would look like it's over the curve, and a camera will bring it back into focus, sort of thing. And he made a mention of 50 miles when he was talking about we can see much further, nothing to do with the boat. So when Simon Dan said, well, I've looked everywhere and can't find any video of a boat being pulled back over 50 miles, right? And that was his response to point 1. Yeah, well, that isn't what Mark Sargent said at all. So completely misrepresented him. In fact, all these points were just garbage, really.
Well, like my mate is a global. I was speaking to him last night about it. As soon as they see a flat earther talk about something, they instantly just think this person doesn't know what they're on about. They don't even look into what you're saying. They just automatically assume without entertaining it, without even taking a step out of what they think, just looking at it from your view. They just don't even bother. So that's probably what he's doing with everything.
Yeah, it's just a typical MO of the ballers that put any kind of content out. They're all the same. They all misrepresent. They all seem to follow the same script: double down, triple down, quadruple down. Everyone's got each other's back, even though that everyone that's got half a brain cell knows that the line out of the backside, right? And yet I don't know whether they're regular troll people like in the chat now. So a lot of the people in the chat now that would support him would be all like, don't talk about Simon Dan like that, or Red's Rhetoric, or Slice Barcane, or anything like that, And so it's the same people, that are all like hanging on the balls kind of thing.
Well, Ranty, I've been listening to this for 3-4 years now.
And how many of them years have been sober?
And well, that's actually irrelevant.
Really?
And
you're really on here sober.
Hey,
you've only been on the debates for 2 weeks, mate.
And it's about to be irrelevant because perspective.
Yeah.
You mean that thing that you always don't understand? What do you understand his perspective, Jazz?
Well, what do you understand as perspective, Randy?
Right. Hang on, you're
very-
the one that's just about to start with it. So let's
Yeah,
define our terms.
yeah.
Let's see if we have a meeting of minds at the beginning, because otherwise
Okay, let's do it.
it's going to be
Let's
difficult.
do it.
What do you
Let's do
understand
it.
this perspective, Jazz?
The perspective is the vanishing point in time on the horizon,
Yeah. So objects get
which gets smaller and smaller and smaller until we can't see it.
correct. So why?
But it. Okay, sorry, go on.
So go on. What was your point that you were about to make about perspective?
The point at the horizon, at the vanishing point, never goes below the vanishing point. It just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller
That's not
until we
true.
can't see it.
It's not true. Why would you say that?
Then how would it go below the vanishing point?
Things
Explain
disappear from the bottom upwards, and obviously the bigger the objects and the further away it is, then it's going to get secured by the floor because you're looking at it across the floor.
Yeah, but there is actually a term for that.
No, that would be the complete opposite. The smaller it gets, it vanishes below the bottom of the horizon first.
Right. There is a term for this. This what we're describing, where things disappear from
Is
the
it
bottom.
just a term or is it fact?
Fact.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
an
science-
Is it
it's
science
optics.
and provable and whatever you...
Diffraction.
No, it's called the
Diffra-
angular size, the angular resolution limitation caused by Airy's diffraction. Have you ever heard of
Is
it?
this,
Yeah.
hang on,
that's that.
is this Arwen off Globebusters that's on now?
No, this is Arwen.
Hello, George.
Arwen,
Hello,
awesome.
George.
Love you, dude.
Can you hear us? Is that really George?
Big fan.
Right, let's kick you because you're probably a troll. Sorry,
Let's
if
keep
that was
going,
you- If that was you, George, you need to say hello quicker. Right, I'm going to give you guys an example. So, you've got a guy and he's got his shoes and you're standing in front of him and you're taking a picture of him. Now, as you back away from this guy, right, what you're going to get him to do is take his shoes off. So he takes his shoes off and lays them next to him, walks off to the side of the frame of the picture. And you back further and further and further away from this pair of shoes. Now, eventually, it will reach the point where those shoes are only a pixel in your camera because they're very small, the angular size reduction. So they've reached the point where they're on the horizon and they're only 1 pixel. Then you back a bit further away and they're no pixels. They've effectively disappeared. The angle to see them is just too small, so they vanish. However, if you get the mate who took the shoes off to run over to those shoes and put them on, because he's taller than the shoes, you've got a wider viewing angle to that guy. But his shoes and feet will be cut off.
Nathan, I'm a really polite guy, so I was just really struggling to just interrupt, but I just did then because you were saying about the distance. And nothing to do with this. I'm just going to slightly interject with the cyclone Florence, and everyone thinks that we should be able to see the clouds moving.
Changing the subjects.
Yeah, it's distraction.
It's not changing the subject.
Well, you
it's
were bringing up
changing the
perspective.
subject on the point that's being talked about.
And the guy that is, 'cause you first have to understand what he just said and just answer that.
I understand what he just said. That's
So
why
what
I'm,
you're talking about
that's
the-
why
the
I'm
clouds.
saying, how do you expect to see the clouds moving at 285 kilometers an hour when the thing's doing 17,500 kilometers an hour? How do you expect to see the clouds moving? It just doesn't work out.
Parallax.
Yeah, this is what I would define as drunken gish gallop. So
Yeah.
you've
You
decided...
don't know what parallax is.
Right, we're
Yeah,
not
we
talking
do.
about parallax. We were talking
No,
about
you don't.
perspective. We were talking about perspective.
And that's why I was talking about perspective, about the...
Excellent. So let's just summarize then. So you see this guy's shoes and he's in the distance and you back away from them and eventually they reach the point where the angular size of those shoes is too small to see. So they vanish from the bottom of your frame of reference. So you've got your horizon with the shoes on them. The shoes disappear because the angle is too small to see them. They go from 1 pixel to no pixels. The guy then runs across, he puts the shoes on and you can see his ankles and his legs and his torso and his head, but not his shoes. So he hasn't gone over the curve. He's still vanished from bottom up though, because his shoes are too small to see.
that's a great example, Nathan. But a better example was your wife's driving down the M5 and she's doing 110 kilometers an hour, and you look at her
Not
and
answering
you're in
the
the.
question
It's
posed to you.
it's not. This is
You're
fucking
basically struggling
parallax.
to answer what that example that he's given you. That's all you need to focus on. You don't need to talk about anything else. That's the point.
Oh,
Come
you
on, Bob.
can't accept
Jazz,
this
it's a-
example.
Jazz, it's a question of, are you going to address the point or are you going to obfuscate the point? You brought up perspective. We're all right with talking about that, but I don't really see how
I'm
perspective's
giving you
got
an
anything to do with
example
cloud
of everyday parallax, not judging shit between shit that's not stuff that you can realize, which you every day you say is fake.
Yeah, this is total gish gallop nonsense. So on screen, Ranty's got a few examples, and now this lighthouse is obviously something that is getting smaller and smaller and smaller as he lowers his angle. So in this instance, it's not distance that's causing this lighthouse to get more and more squashed, it's the reduced viewing angle due to elevation. So as he lowers his elevation, he effectively reduces the viewing angle to this lighthouse, squashing it. Now eventually, he would squash it so much that it would be nothing, and if he backed away from it, the same thing would apply. So with this bottom one, the one I'm going to circle it for the audience, this one which is obviously more squashed than this one due to a viewing angle reduction, if you backed away from this one, the same would happen as would happen with the shoe example. It would get more and more squashed until eventually it was just a couple of pixels, and then you back away a bit further and it would just be no pixels. But the mountain that's behind it, that would still be there. You'd still be able to see it because of the increased viewing angle to the thing that's larger than this thing on the horizon. So things that are very small get smaller with distance till they disappear from bottom up. That's what causes things to disappear bottom up. Airy's diffraction due to a reduced viewing angle at distance. Nothing to do with curvature.
Oh, we should have a quick chat about this, and if Nathan could stay on, that'd be great. No, you're Nathan.
The drapes of society. And like you need to just like take the example he's giving you. He's trying to explain to you how the perspective affects the guy's shoes, yeah?
Hey
And that's
Sean,
all you need to
hold on 1 second, Tommy. Hey Sean, can you hear us?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm all good, mate.
Thanks for being here.
That's all right, mate. No problem.
What you
Let's
can
do this. It'll be hilarious. You guys all against me. Let's do it.
Well, it's not really a fight, is it really? It's just we're trying to make you understand that this lower image here that was taken from a lower angle than the one above it, it's holding its width. So the green building, let me just scroll in a tad. So the green building here and the right-hand side of the lighthouse and the chimneys and everything else are all in proportion in the width. But the actual height of the buildings and the height of the actual lighthouse is much smaller. So we're still holding the width of it, but the height is being squashed. And that's with a narrow viewing angle.
And that's fine. Let's
So you
all get
appreciate
together
that.
and talk
So
about
there's
it.
less pixels. So there's less pixels in the height of this bottom one than there is of the top one. But the width way, we've still got its width. The width is the same. But height, we've lost pixel height. We've lost pixel height when I've reduced my viewing angle. Would you agree?
I will.
Right. So
Right
if you're
now,
losing pixels, so
so
if you're losing pixels to review,
in the hope that we can all talk about it.
okay. So if
Let's
we're
do
losing pixels due to the narrow viewing angle, what's going to happen when you get an ever narrowing angle? You're going to lose more pixels. That makes sense. Would you not agree? In the height,
Are you listening to what you're just saying?
Yeah, that you lose pixels due to the angular change in height. This is what's clearly
Angular
evident.
change in height, you're losing pixels. Are you listening to what you're just saying?
Yes, so you reduce the angle and the number of pixels represented on this screen reduces. Very simple, he said it 3 times.
And it has a name in science. This isn't called curvature of the Earth. It's called the Airy's diffraction. Angular size resolution.
I'm just going to go and have a quick smoke. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think you should stop all that kind of stuff, Jazz. You're making yourself look silly.
Yeah.
It's
No,
foreground
you guys have a.
I just no, he's not going to rump us the hangout and tell us about his smoke. So we've made it clear. This is the effects of perspective. So sod off for your smoke because you don't want to listen to what we're telling you. You just want to gish gallop.
No, I'm going to have a smoke.
Yeah, we don't give a crap. We're talking about perspective and you're talking about your nicotine addiction and we don't care. So sod off for your smoke while we talk about perspective and Ranty's absolutely awesome photography where he lowers his elevation and demonstrates that the things that you can observe actually squash because of the reduced viewing angle, because of Aries diffraction, something you don't want to listen to.
And what's
I
also,
don't want to listen to.
Yeah, you want to go for a smoke, don't you?
This is the crescendo of your
I
perspective.
just fucking told you, Nate.
Yeah, right, that's where I kick you out. So, no, you're losing, and all you want to do is swear because you're losing. I thought you were sodding off for a smoke.
Swear and leave.
Yeah, sod off.
You're
That's
at the
when
point
people.
where your
That's what
point's
people
just
do
about
when they're
destroyed
triggered. When they're
and you don't
beaten,
realise.
they start swearing. I don't mind swearing, but when it's a definite indicator that they're triggered because they've been beaten, then they can immediately get kicked. That's my excuse to kick them.
yeah, and also with this DSCN 5825, this lower image is the same image, right? So that image on the right and the image at the bottom is the same image, but I've just put a bit of contrast on the right-hand side one. And what I did that for was to bring out the chimney, because intermittently throughout the video, you do see both chimneys on each side. So I highlighted this to prove that this chimney is evident in the video, and it's also evident here. So we're seeing all of that lighthouse, everything that we're seeing in the higher elevation, we're seeing in the lower elevation too. And then when we compare them, you know, height versus width, we know that the chimney is still evident in this bottom one. We're definitely seeing the same image, but it's just squashed. It's exactly the same as the boats that I've been working with as well. So we lose pixels in height due to narrowing of the angle, but it retains its width. And that's why quite often you'll see a very thin smudge on the horizon, a row of very small, very small things that you can see, maybe even the top of the buildings. That's because everything that's in the narrow part at the bottom is squashed into just pixels.
Hey, Alan.
Did somebody mention smudges?
Is that why you've joined?
Smudge.
You're going to show us some of your smudges?
No, mine are in focus.
Ah, well, can
Really?
you show them?
What was the focal length?
Hello, Alan.
Can you bring
Hello,
up some
Alan.
satellite pictures, Alan?
What's the focal length on these pictures?
Have you got any
They're not
satellite
pictures, it's
pictures,
content.
images that we could see of satellites? You mentioned smudges. That was your opening line.
We're talking about Ranty's smudges.
Yeah, but previously we have talked about other smudge-based photography, namely satellites.
And
So, on the topic of smudgy photos, have you got any pictures of satellites? Because I can
No.
definitely make out that this is a lighthouse, and I would put it to you that anything you present in the way of a photo of a satellite will be what you'd call a smudge.
why didn't you do a Google search?
I'm asking you to.
You do it, you lazy sod.
Oh right, I think you're just not interested in the truth.
No, he's just here to obfuscate. He
I think
comes
he's
in
in one
every
of them
time.
moods today, Nathan, where he's going to obfuscate everything.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
So where
But
did
I've
we
just
get to
produced
yesterday?
killer evidence, and you come in with, what's your focal point? What's your focal length?
Yeah, what was the focal length on that?
Would it make a difference?
Yes, it would.
Would it really?
Yes.
What difference would it make? Would it make the Earth curved?
Yes, go and read the manual on your camera.
What
Well,
would
it
be
can
that
do what?
difference?
What can it do?
What
does
difference
it
would it
give
make?
us? What was the aperture?
What difference would the focal length make?
You don't know?
What
No, we're
difference would it
asking
make?
you.
I'm asking you. You've made out like it's important.
It is.
How
And
so?
why? Why would that be?
You don't know? Are you taking pictures?
Yeah, it's the
and
same
things?
reason the field. It's the same reason the field manual is important for understanding Coriolis and riflery.
Yes, but you're a Christian, aren't you?
What's that got to do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Come on,
why
Alan.
has Christianity got
Listen,
anything to
Get
do with it?
this guy. I'm gonna talk like Quantum Eraser. Get this guy out of here.
That was good.
Need some sound effects like it, like
Get
a
this
fucking,
crayon muncher out. Come on,
like a rocket launch or something.
Really accurate, by the way. It's creepy. Are you actually Quantum Eraser?
The focal length.
Thankfully,
is
no.
changing.
Thankfully,
What an
no.
idiot.
So didn't want to stick
Get this
to the
crayon
one subject
muncher
then.
out of here.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Everything else is possible, but the possibility that it is flat. Everything else is possible, but that.
Yeah, that's called confirmation bias. Is he still in, or has he been kicked?
I kicked him.
Oh,
Oh, did somebody kick him?
he was in one of his weird moods today, so I can see why he would kick him. To be fair,
He was in a fey mood. He was just gonna troll and interrupt.
But I
We
was just
don't
going to
have time.
highlight
for the
his
full Earth
obfuscation technique.
society.
Oh, Ranty.
Hello.
Remember I said to you quite a while back about your P900 being quite a lot smaller than the P1000?
Yep.
Is the lens the same size?
No, it's bigger.
I fucking told you. Sorry. I told you that.
Yeah.
So what though?
You said it weren't.
Oh, did you? I don't remember you
Yeah, I did.
ever asking me that question, but
I did.
Bronte, I think what he's angling at, I think he's saying that you need to give him an apology for being wrong.
No. I did see the unboxing though. It's very cool.
yeah, it was nice to get it actually.
When you've grown up and you've learned all this about curvature, you've had the time to study it and you've given it a fair shake, an open mind to it, and all they need to do is just do the same thing they did for learning the curvature, for learning perspective and the reasons that you are giving, and just take away your bias and just take away that position and just look at it completely fresh, and just take that new information in as what is the explanation for that. That's all they need to do, but it's like they won't let go of that view, and they're listening to your view with their view already at heart. Exactly like I did. I already had everything. I knew categorically. I was like, that is definitely curvature. You have to let go of what you know and learn something new, and then look at the two and then say which one. Well, if that's possible, maybe what I thought I knew was wrong.
Well, we're all understanding. That's the thing. I mean, when I first joined these, I was literally the first. All I was concentrating on was, I can see further. Yeah, that
When
was
you
my
first
whole
joined what?
flat Earth.
Oh, I thought you meant the Hangouts.
No. When I first started looking into it, like I say, within 2 weeks, I bought a P900. I put a few videos out about flat Earth. Obviously, that's how I got in touch with you, because you thought I was attacking you or something over Blackpool.
No, I thought you were a fan. Like what Simon Dan does.
Oh, right, okay.
I thought you were a fan, Ranty. I didn't realise that it was coincidence.
It was pure coincidence. I've never even seen your work. I was just doing it for my own benefit more than anything. And it's like, this doesn't match what you're supposed to see on a ball. And from that, to go into where I am now, which is analysing why we can see further and why things appear to disappear. It's been very rewarding. It's taken a lot of work though. I mean, I've got so much stuff on this PC. It's unbelievable. My old PC as well that's sat down there is absolutely chock-a-block with data. And it's brought us to this point where we can now not just say, okay, yes, we can see further, but we can start to explain why we're seeing further. And we can start to explain why things disappear from the bottom up. And we can evidence it with visual evidence and proof.
If it's also a lot of ego in it and admitting that you're wrong, then that's another big part of it.
But you don't have to admit that you're wrong. You just have to realise that there's another explanation that could, because we're not saying it's absolutely 100% flat. We can't prove it is. But what we can say is there's no curve. So whether or not it makes it flat or not is debatable, but there's definitely no curve.
Could be a lot more land. It could be a lot bigger than they're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'm still agnostic. I think I need to get like do a full course on the perspective and do a full course on the curvature thing, and learn both sides thoroughly. But just because I'm still quite not thorough on either side, it'd be stupid of me to make a claim.
Yeah, I class myself as agnostic.
I mean, just before I went on Globebusters before, I don't know how long ago it was now, maybe 2 months. I got to this location and I did I basically reverse engineered the curvature calcs into a percentage, and then compressed in height, not width, the image from the higher elevation and compared it to the lower elevation image, and it was an identical match just on compression of the height rather than the width of it. I couldn't believe it. I think I showed it on yours, Nathan, and then I showed it on Glowbusters. And essentially that's what they've done. They've hijacked perspective. Actually looking for that now, but I can't find it. Got so much stuff.
Have you taken any footage yet with your P1000?
I did. Well, it was just a test, really, and I nearly broke the camera on the very first shoot.
What?
Yeah.
What were you using the Zoom for? Were you going to the toilet?
No. I
Sorry,
went upstairs, right? I went upstairs and I opened the bedroom window wide open, right? And I'm filming, looking at these buildings in the distance, and I'm obviously the camera's growing and growing and growing, and the lens is getting bigger and bigger, and I didn't not realizing how far it actually extends. It's out of the window, and because it was so windy where we are today, literally the window slammed shut.
Oh shit!
But it stopped about an inch away from the camera, so it closed around about, I don't know, maybe 12 inches or so. It swung 12 inches towards the camera whilst I had it fully extended. It's just like, I was like, first shot, can you go figure? I've got it on video actually.
So it's like the P900 on Viagra.
Yeah, and it's really heavy as well. It's obviously because it extends so long, and it's waving around a bit. There's a lot of weight at the front. So when you really zoomed in, trying to keep that camera steady is really difficult. But
can you show it? I've got your webcam linked up.
Hang on, let me see if I can find that.
Say the 3000
bit of camera porn.
Impressive.
Love it.
It's impressive, but you can also switch the digital on. That doubles it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, mate.
Let me share my screen.
Did you check if it was set to 4K?
I think it is, because I compared it with the P900, so...
In emergency situations, you can always set it on full zoom and then use it as a blunt weapon.
Are you sticking... I've just took the screen on
I'm
you.
serious.
I'm hoping
it's like a big club.
I'm hoping you'll put your camera on and just show us.
It's heavy enough to beat some of the...
Oh, you mean my webcam?
Yeah.
Set it all up now.
Why do you not have it just permanently plugged in?
Because that was on the laptop.
Oh, right.
Messing around. Anyway, can you see my screen now?
Yeah. I've got it on your screen, locked on your screen.
This is where I've opened the window, and I've opened it so I can look over at these buildings way in the distance. And as I'm zooming in,
you're not presenting.
You're not presenting.
I am.
No.
I'm not presenting. Weird.
Just
says I'm screen sharing.
Hello. So I just had to get some food from the door.
Still not presenting.
Screen share.
Well, I was planning on taking a 5-minute break, so it might be the case that we actually do this on the next show.
Can you see that now?
Nope.
Cliffhanger.
There seems to be a glitch with the Hangout screen because it stopped presenting my background images as well. I don't know why.
Right, okay.
So, oh well, just one of those things.
Oh well.
I'll see you in the next Hangout.
Yeah, I was going to say, does anybody want to add anything on to the end of this one?
Yeah, Sean Hufford, we want to see your letter of engagement. Get these instructions passed to your solicitor. Let's see how they're going to deal with your whatever claim you're going to make against whoever it is that you're going to make it against.
Bullshit.
I've done A-level maths, like university level maths in my diploma, so I'm not that fucking thick.
I want to say that Sean Hufford is engaging in frivolous lawsuits so he can e-beg and ask for donations.
That's lovely. With that, I'm going to say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. But if you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!